house. Philip, Dante, good to see you guys. N41 men. Gregory, Josh, good to see you guys. Oh, there's John, Shan, Vic, Joeseph, the other John, yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, so, I always do the first 5 minutes, say what up to everybody, so those watching this on replay gotta know that. Always get to the 5th minute. Unless I edit it, of course, then it's all good, All right, I think we're just about set. We're ready to start. Let's turn the music down here. All right, we got tons of topics today. Let's check out what's on the agenda here. All right, y'all. So I'm super excited about a handful of devices this year. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate you, man. Salvador, Kevin, welcome. I'm excited about a few phones in 2021. Why is my camera not on? Let's turn that thing on, right? Not that you really need to see me. I mean, I'm basically a heathen, right? So, but why not? We'll turn on the old video here. Let's slide over. What is up, my good people? Appreciate you for stopping by. Thanks for coming on to the live. Hashtag 2LiveCrew. For those of you watching this on replay, hashtag replay crew or replay gang, whichever you prefer. Hashtag Mod Squad for all my blue names with the wrenches. And hashtag Ravioli Gang for those watching this while eating dinner or a snack or some, whatever the case may be. So, as I was saying, there's a few devices that I'm super psyched about. They're different. They're going to be different than what we're used to. Maybe I'm like unique in that I'm excited about them, and maybe most people aren't, but I am, and that's cool. I mean, people get excited about iPhones. I don't really get excited about them. They're good phones, but there's nothing exciting about something that we know how or what it's going to be. So it's not new, it's not different, so there's nothing unique about it. But, I mean, you might get excited about the iPhone because it's a better phone than the last one you had or whatever. But there's some different types of phones I'm excited about this year. So I know the brother Cove out there, he's all about that unique life when it comes to smartphones. Phones that do more or do different things. So I want to cover that today. HBO Max getting a initial international launch. That's good if you're an investor of AT&T and, if you follow any of the, financials of the carriers. So we'll cover that. We're going to talk T-Mobile home broadband a little bit. I'm going to give you guys an update. Let's see here. What else do I want to talk? Oh, Motorola. That was the other phone I wanted to talk about. The Moto Ace. Moto 1 5G Ace. I'll give you guys a T-Mobile home internet update. I've been using it for a couple months now, like 6-7 weeks or so. So now it's the second month. I can give you guys some preliminary findings on month number 2. There's a Cricket update, which is really screwed up and messed up. Big shout out to Nicholas, Toledo, Ohio. It's messed up, man. The level of incompetence sometimes I think is just, it's unbelievable. I can't think how something like this could be happening, but I guess we can't be surprised anymore, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the show. I want to start with positive energy, the phones I'm excited about in 2021. I'm going to start there. Again, smartphones are 100% preference. There's no right or wrong answer to the best phone or the best phone for you, or what you want, or anything like that. I'm not here to tell anybody what to buy. People ask me for advice. I give them my take on how I see certain phones. I ask them their needs. What are you looking for? That sort of thing. And that's really what it's all about. You need to buy a phone that is going to make you happy and do the things that you want it to do. Similar to the network you choose. Choose the network that gives you what you need from it. So you spend your money where you get the most out of your money. And then you go with that. And you don't need anybody's advice to do so. And, maybe you value or respect somebody's opinion. But again, it is up to you. It is your needs. My brother Jose, thank you for the super chat donation. Appreciate you, man. You always do so much to support the channel, man. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. With the 2020 devices, the phones that I'm excited about a Google Pixel flagship. Let me just get that out of the way. That is definitely on my radar because that will be a very good phone. Google Pixel flagships have always been great. From the original, the Google Pixel OG, to the 2 and the 2XL, to the 3 and the 3XL, to the 4 and the 4XL. And then things got funny with the 5 because it wasn't a flagship processor, SoC. So unfortunately, even though the phone is a very nice phone, it wasn't as powerful as we would have liked to have seen from a flagship. So we don't see it that way. But the things that I'm excited for, other than the Pixel, are going to be the new Blackberry phones. I'm super excited about a Blackberry in 2021. I had the Blackberry Key 2 LE, and I loved it, but it stopped getting updates, and it was kind of buggy because it wasn't getting updates. But the physical keyboard is absolutely tremendous. I loved it. It was incredible. Jamaal, good to see you, brother. Long time no see, man. I hope all is well. And it is good to have you on the show tonight, man. Thank you for gracing your presence tonight, man. Welcome to the show. Longtime supporter and friend of the channel. The hardware keyboard options are slim to none. Right? You either have an older Blackberry or you're not getting it. Hey, Brandon. So I'm excited about the Blackberry options. I think they should offer a mid-ranger for those that don't want to spend $1,000. I think they should offer a flagship, even if it is going to cost $800-900. I mean, we're already spending $1,000 on iPhones and Galaxies. So why shouldn't a secure hardware keyboard option be offered in a flagship level device? And, $800-900 or $1,000 if it's worth it, whatever. I mean, Galaxies are getting it, and I don't think they're worth it. But it's not going to be a TCL-made device this year. And, TCL was making them before, and, we know where TCL stands as a Chinese manufacturer. This is going to be produced by a company called Onward Mobility. They're only contracted for a single year, from what I understand. So the 2021 BlackBerry will be made by Onward Mobility, with no other devices in the future currently planned or contracted. So it's 2021. They show and they prove, and then maybe something else comes of it. We'll see. Hey, George. Good to see you, Bobby. Expect classic BlackBerry elements, hardware keyboard, modern internals, right? We're hoping for the best of the best when it comes to 5G cellular modems and cellular radios. An antenna array that's really good and solid. Onward Mobility will be in charge of the design, the build, the engineering. Foxconn will actually manufacture and assemble these phones. So, will we see it in North America, Europe, Asia? I think that's what the scheduled availability is going to be. We'll see where it ends up, but I'm excited about that one. We don't really have any insight beyond this year. That's really all we know at this time. So, no other information from the sources. I think this one was from gsmarena.com. You can check out the story there. I think pricing is going to matter. If they want to sell it, it's going to have to be attractive enough. Blackberries have always been super expensive. They've also been very enterprisey, right? Enterprise as in like business, security, enhanced protection, protecting from vulnerabilities, a lot of online activities to protect you from, hacks and other things. That's always been really nice, a good security suite. My expectations is that the security will be paramount. I think the hardware will be very good. It'll be very strong, good build quality. Durability should be there, industrial design. Classic BlackBerry, squarish looks to them. I'm okay with that. But again, mostly for like agencies, businesses, and enterprise. But I'm excited about it because we haven't seen it in a while, and I liked them before. And I like Android. And if it could be very stock googly, kind of like a Google Pixel with the BlackBerry elements to it, I think we have a winner. But the pricing matters because they got to compete with the other Androids. They ain't going to compete with other iPhones, right? There is no Android that competes with the iPhone. The iPhone is the iPhone, and people that want those have those. So I don't know, anybody always talking about, you got to compete with the iPhone. That is tish-tosh. Nobody competes with the iPhone. So you got to compete with the Galaxies of the world. You got to compete with the Google Pixel phones of the world, that sort of thing. So the pricing matters. Obviously, I'd love to see it around $799, $749. I'd buy it before the S21 if it had a flagship chipset. Hey, Latrell. So that's kind of one of the phones I'm excited about. I told you guys that I'm excited about the Google Pixel 6. I'd like to see a 6XL as well. Other than that, there was another phone that I was excited about too. And this one I'm excited about for a totally different reason, actually. So this next phone that I'm going to mention, I would never buy because the drop-off from what I'm used to using might be too steep. I'm used to using flagships and testing phones with flagship modems and stuff like that. So it would be if I did own this phone, it would have to be, just for your basic usage. It would never be like something I would speed test with or anything like that. So what I'm speaking to is the Motorola new 5G phone known as the Moto One 5G Ace. This is a Metro by T-Mobile special. It will be the first Metro by T-Mobile exclusive 5G phone. So kind of sort of breaking grounds through Metro stores. All right, so we'll see what this does for pricing. So watch this. A special promotion for switchers on this phone, the Moto One 5G Ace, $19.99. I said 2 years ago, the only way 5G was going to catch is people weren't going to pay $1,000 or more for them. Most people. Some people would, but a very small percentage, right? But with phones coming down in pricing, now it's much more palatable. It's more digestible. It's coming in at a more attractive price point. So if you're willing to switch to Metro by T-Mobile, they're going to give you the Motorola Moto One 5G Ace for $20, which is incredible. A 5G handheld mobile device from Motorola with some decent specifications for $20. Let me get to the specs. But first, big shout out to Kevin. Kev, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that super chat. Hey, it's a labor of love. I enjoy the production on the channels. I enjoy helping people if I do. The speed testing, the network testing, the insight, the analysis, the news. Hey. Oh, and Kevin, welcome to the Patreon. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, bro. So the specs on this Moto One 5G Ace, 6.7-inch full HD plus display. I'm guessing it's an LCD. Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G SoC. You have a variant that is 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. Now, in my opinion, in 2021, that might be cutting it close. 4 gigs of RAM with the way that Android has been running lately, it's a little tight. I think 6 gigs of RAM is kind of where it's at right now. So they do have that. This phone will have an option for 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, so you can have the more enhanced model. So the 6 gig of RAM, 128 gig storage is a Metro by T-Mobile exclusive for now. I don't know if that'll stick, but we're hearing that that's what it might be. IP54 rating, so that gives you dust and splash resistance, I think. 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That thing will last all day. I don't care what you do with it. It's going to last you the full day. The manufacturer OEM retail price on this is $279.99, so a little bit under $300, which is attractive, Right? That's a great price point for basically a mid-ranger, right? 750G, a 7 series chipset. I'm guessing that the one with the extra RAM and the extra storage is probably going to be like $329. So just be mindful of that. If you're willing to add a line to a pre-existing Metro account, it's $90. So if you're a switcher, it's $20. If you're adding a line to your Metro account, it's $90. Not bad. Yeah, Chaim, I think you're right. I think 6 gigs of RAM is where it's at. I really do. I think 4 is cutting a little bit close. I think you're right about that. Big shout out to Nick. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, bro. Any super chats that you guys provide, I want to say thank you to you. It's not something you have to do. It is definitely not obligated. I don't even ask for them. I understand the current climate, the economics of everything. So, your gestures of donations are very, very thoughtful and considerate. We appreciate it. Do not feel the need or obligated to do so, but we thank you for that thought. Thank you very much. I think it's a good deal for a phone. It's got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G. So it is going to be a or SoC 750G. I'm guessing it's going to be the X52 modem, the same one that we saw in last year's mid-rangers, like the Google Pixel 5, the LG Velvet, non-T-Mobile version, because that one had the Dimensity 1000 for MediaTek. But, like mid-ranger, you can't beat that price. So I'm not excited about that phone for myself, but I am excited about that phone for people to get a more affordable 5G option, maybe get them in the door, right? Get them into a 5G phone. Hey, if I'm Metro by T-Mobile, if I'm T-Mobile, I'm trying to get people onto my 5G network because T-Mobile's got a lot of bandwidth on the 5G side now. Think about it. They got a dedicated 5G capacity layer, an N41. These phones got N41. There you go. That phone's going to be freaking fast. Every N41 site you connect to, 300, 400, 500 megabits per second, 600, 700 maybe, some upgraded sites. Hey, it's worth a shot. Try it out. I mean, you switch, it's $20. You add a line, it's $80. And I think it's right in the price range of somebody who maybe is cost sensitive as a Metro customer. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. So, phones that I'm excited about, phones that I think are offered at some good deals, I think it's worth it to consider them. All right, let's take a look at this next story. T-Mobile apparently is moving into Walmart stores and Best Buys. I think the Best Buy piece was inevitable. I think that had to happen. At some point, T-Mobile has never really been in Best Buys. I don't think I've ever been in a Best Buy and even saw a mention or branding of anything T-Mobile. Maybe they sold prepaid. I don't know. I can't remember seeing that personally, but maybe. But now they're actually going to legit have branding, signage, postage, where you put all the phones and stuff like that in the displays, and they'll be selling, doing the whole shebang. All right, so T-Mobile has had no retail space in Walmart as postpaid, or when it comes to, Best Buy, same thing, no presence. But with the merger with Sprint, this kind of kicks in the door, right? So that changes everything. And now what we're seeing is that this is going to further advance T-Mobile's footprint into retail space, because that's the one thing you got to know about postpaid is you just have to be everywhere. You have to have your own stores. You got to have authorized retailers, and Best Buy matters, and people shop for electronics there. They will have their wireless done there. They will buy printers. They will buy TVs. They'll do the whole thing there. So you get them in there as well. Full T-Mobile branding. They'll be doing activations. Best Buy and Walmart. You're also going to be seeing like account services, new and existing upgrades, line additions. You could buy phones. All that's going to be happening at Best Buy and Walmart. So The time frame they're saying is going to be April 1st. Walmart is expected to follow soon after that. So it looks like it's happening in phases. T-Mobile going to be starting out in Best Buy starting in April. Walmart soon to follow after that. They apparently have been retail piloting in Pennsylvania and New York. I haven't heard of anything. Nobody has reported to me on this, but that's what the news story was saying. They're saying that there have been Best Buys with sightings of T-Mobile, being in the stores. Smart by T-Mobile, I think they had to do it. Verizon is in Best Buy and Walmart. AT&T is in Best Buy and Walmart. You can't be the only one out. And I think Jim's right. Jim, welcome to the show. There probably are some plazas, shopping centers, in and around malls, Costco's, where Best Buy is like the number one game in town. Like everybody knows to go to the Best Buy to get their electronics and to cover all their bases for their smart homes and whatever they're buying. So whether it's home and office or it's entertainment and mobility, computers, tablets, laptops, iPhones, iPads, everything, Best Buy. You got to have the mind share, you got to have the market share, and you got to have the retail space. And I think this is good. There's no way they could have missed out on this opportunity. They're too big a company. There's no way they could continue to not be in Best Buys. And Walmart too, for sure. So good news from T-Mobile. Glad to see they're kind of growing up in retail. They are obviously a much larger company than they were in the past, for sure. I always thought it was weird. I'd go into a Best Buy, and literally Sprint was dying. They were like, everybody thought they were a joke, but T-Mobile was this ascending brand with this incredible marketing campaign, and they were nowhere to be found. I always thought that was incredible. This is even before, like literally 5 years ago, before I even started my channel, I would go into a Best Buy store, and I would see Verizon smack dab when you walk in, AT&T next to them, and then you would see Sprint next to them. But there was no T-Mobile presence. And that made no sense to me in my mind. I knew that Sprint was a failing brand, and T-Mobile was an ascending brand. But T-Mobile wasn't in the stores. It made no sense. I was like, why? Sprint is like, yeah, Sprint didn't have the floor space, and they didn't have all, the space that Verizon did and stuff like that. But I saw what was happening. Sprint had really taken a backseat as the fourth carrier in a big way, in a very great way. And then here was T-Mobile ascending with John Leisure and the branding, the uncarrier, unlimited data, and how to finance your phones. It was all different, a unique Netflix on us, da-da-da-da-da-da. And Sprint was like going down the tubes. But in there was no T-Mobile. It was Sprint, Verizon, and AT&T. So looks like that is changing. T-Mobile getting in the doors now at Best Buy and Walmart. All right, good stuff. Let's go ahead and transition to some home broadband news. This one's pretty good. And Barry, I'm not sure why you aren't a moderator on my channel. We will definitely knight you now. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being on. This is home internet news. Just to kind of summarize some of the trends that are ongoing during the pandemic. Home broadband usage is up in a big way. Customers and families are looking to possibly upgrade their services. So in 2021, this year, expect those who can upgrade to upgrade services to enhance their experience, whether it's going with higher tier plans with higher tier access to get them more data or more speed. Studies are indicating that families and workforce members that are permanently or temporarily working from home, or students that are being educated from home, because of those activities, usage is increasing. More people intend to upgrade their services through their providers. So maybe people that were using, quote unquote, normal usage of home broadband now are starting to become high usage users. And I think what the pandemic likely did is it exacerbated the problem. I need more. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic likely accelerated their decision to maybe change, and upgrade the plans. So some people have even indicated that they would be switching providers because the current company they have can't give them improved services or higher tiered services. So people are even willing to switch in order to get something higher end or to get something higher performance. Some people, then this is where things get interesting, plot twist, because of the economics, some people are downgrading. And if a company doesn't have a lower tier plan, the one they have is too expensive, and there's nowhere else to go down at that company, they're switching to another provider to look for something cheaper. So it's this incredible tug of war. You have the economics where people want to downgrade and spend less because of the, money situation. Then you have people that are apparently busier than ever and need more and have higher demand for their home broadband services. So you've got downgraders because of price, economic reasons. You've got switchers that need more, better performance or better plans, higher tier performance. I think about my old provider, in Cox Home Internet, Cox Communications. I think about the streaming app usage, fiber optics. There's so many things, multiple services and platforms. People are moving away from traditional TV. They're cutting the cord. They continue to do so. It's really incredible. You know what I mean? I've seen this huge move to online pay TV, standalone, over-the-top boxes for services. People moving away from cable. It's a sign of the times. People just have higher demands than they've ever had. You know what I mean? I'm personally looking for more than my provider than I can get. Even my T-Mobile home internet right now is starting to falter. My first month of usage was incredible, and then since then, we've seen an unfortunate turn in performance, which I'm going to, speak to in a minute, but I just wanted to let people know that I'm not surprised, and I don't think you should be either. Some people are looking for more, and some people are looking for less. You got people moving in different directions, and it just depends on the situation. We have Starlink coming. We have T-Mobile's home internet continuing to grow as they upgrade the network. More and more people switch to that. As they have capacity, things should get better. There's a lot of competition now. AT&T's rolling out more and more fiber. Verizon Fios, we'd like to see that expand. So, yeah, more stuff coming. I wish Verizon home internet is not available in my area. Maybe with CBRS and C-band, it might end up here. But as of right now, no, it's not available here. I think you're right about that, Dan. I could use a 60 to 80 megahertz, slice for N41. Just have an N41 man sighting, All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Next topic. Oh, so we just got done talking about kind of like home internet. I wanted to speak to you guys a little bit about this HBO Max news. Okay, so HBO Max is a great service. I love it. The app layout is great. The integration is phenomenal. The service itself, in terms of the content, is very good. I've enjoyed it. My wife has enjoyed it. It's been great. The thing about HBO Max that's been missing up to this point was the fact that it was basically just domestic, right? So it wasn't really international, and that's what we wanted to see. We want HBO Max to scale. We want to see it be a big piece of what AT&T does for the future of their success. Yeah, Gene, I've loved HBO Max thus far. They've got a big Latin American launch coming up very, very soon. It is set for a June 2021 launch, 39 new territories, including the Caribbean and South America and Central America. This would be the first official foray into the international market penetration for AT&T's media side for its streaming platforms. It's been very successful domestically. Their numbers are incredible. They've got 41 plus million subscribers right now to the service. And honestly, with a good app that has been performing very, very well, and people enjoying the interface, well supported, right? I also think that with all of that good content and having that exclusive content, also, they've got these movies and titles that are going to be released in 2021. I think 17 of them, if I remember correctly. If we go ahead and count Wonder Woman 1984, that is attractive. That's bringing a lot of customers to the service. And people are sticking around. They're not trying it for a month and leaving. They're trying it and then keeping it. And they're continuing to pay it. They're also upgrading their AT&T wireless plans so they can get this included. So they've got a good app. They've got good content. They've got movies that are exclusive titles. They've got the Warner Studios content, the Warner Media stuff, the shows, the catalogs, HBO, DC for movies, the Warner Brothers stuff, homegrown content. They've got kids content, cartoons. They've got, I think it's what's that other, Looney Tunes, right? They got the cartoons. CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, Adult Swim, Max Originals, right? The app and the platform is available on most devices. I don't think they're missing anything as of right now. They got a European launch set for later this year too. But for now, this one is going to be the big thing in June. All that really needs to happen for HBO Max, I think at this point, is they got to figure out what they're going to be doing for Asia. Because it looks like the European launch is set. They got a good Latin American launch all set. Now it's going to be the Asian market. But if you're watching what AT&T is doing with HBO Max, I think it's going to be their killer streaming platform, especially with the movies. AT&T's bright spot, man. 41 plus million subscribers. It's way ahead of schedule. They found a lot of success. It's part of their premium offers with their fiber, so home internet. They're connecting it there. They're also connecting it to mobility, upselling people to the premium plans. I think that all that's really left for AT&T to do is figure out how they're going to get rid of DirecTV. They've got their media stuff consolidated and ready to sell. They got a ton of debt from all of this that they can start to pay down with the success of these platforms. Get the return of investment, get that HBO Max to start paying for itself. Movie release approaches, quarterly success. I don't know how you measure success with HBO Max. What, pay down the Warner debt? I don't know, maybe get it down to like $5-10 billion a quarter. What are the goals? What are the ambitions for the service? I don't know, but it's a winner. I've enjoyed HBO Max. It's been a lot of fun watching the content, the throwback stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's been great. It's been very, very nice. So I think this would be a big piece of their business moving forward, and it's been successful up to this point. I don't see that changing. The more they launch across the world, the more success they'll find, the more money they can make. All right, so we talked about some home internet stuff, but we didn't talk about the T-Mobile home internet update that I wanted to give you guys. All right, y'all. I have done at least 5 or 6 videos on T-Mobile home internet. Hey, Stetson, good to see you. I've done at least a half dozen. I did an unboxing. I did an initial setup. I did a couple of stress tests. I have been generally very happy with the T-Mobile home internet. And then in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, I'm starting to experience problems. Problems I did not expect to have. It's been really weird. Like, this is month number 2. So I've got 1 full month under my belt. And then it's about the second week into the second month. Just to let you guys know, I do have the Nokia Gateway, the 5G Gateway. Not that it makes any difference because mine only connects to LTE as of right now because of the site I'm connected to. So all LTE, no 5G connection for me. It's a former Sprint site. It's a keep site. It's got band 26, band 25, and band 41. I've got it so that it connects to the band 41. I don't know if that matters, but honestly, I've got a 20 megahertz channel of LTE band 41. During month number 1, here's what I saw. I had high latency, which was not good, typically between 80 and 90 milliseconds. I was seeing downlink speeds between 100 to 130 megabits per second. That was fine. I was happy with it. I was content. The uplink, not bad. 10 to 15 megabits. Not the greatest. I'd like to see it a little bit higher, but hey, what are you going to do? No, Kevin, I wasn't able to band lock it, but it picks up band 41. If the RSRP is strong enough, it stays on there. But it doesn't aggregate anything. It's only doing band 41 because of the configuration of that Sprint site. The Sprint site doesn't aggregate bands. It just does band 41, or it just does band 26, or it just does band 25. That's the way it's set up. Anyways, interesting, the last couple of weeks, the latency dropped, which is good. You want to see ping times decrease. So it's been pretty good seeing that drop into the 30s and 40 millisecond range. The downlink is down like 30 to 40%, at least. Some speed tests are dropping to half. There lies a problem. And the reason I say that's a problem is because I've got like 6 or 7 devices connected at any given moment. I need all of that, the downlink speed I can get. So the uplink is pretty steady. That hasn't really changed. But my concern is, in the long term, what's going to continue to happen to my downlink speed? So if I was getting 100 to 130 downlink, and now I'm getting 50, 60, 70, 80, well, what type of conversation are we having a month from now? Is the usage picking up? Am I being throttled or deprioed? What's going on, right? The only way that I'm going to be able to recommend this is if I start seeing upgrades to my tower site. Because as of right now, if they're going to start taking more orders for T-Mobile home internet and there's network traffic picking up on the site, I'm going to go from that 100, 130. I'm already down to the 50, 60, 70. If we go down to 20, 30 megs, I can only run like 2 devices. That's a couple of TVs and an iPad. What am I going to do about my desktop? What am I going to do about my wife's MacBook? What about a third TV? What if I'm live streaming? All that becomes compromised. So unless I was to get the N41 upgrade, some form of a band 71 maybe added to the whole thing, it's going to have to be upgraded. N71, N41, that combo would be killer. Once they start aggregating it, be awesome. The site's like not even a third of a mile away. So like the signal's not really the issue. They shrunk the bandwidth. It used to be 40 megahertz of band 41. If it was 40 megahertz now, it'd be incredible. My current RSRP or signal strength is like minus 95, minus 93. It's not bad. Of course, we'd like to see it in the 80s, but I don't think I can get that. I mean, even if I put in the attic, I don't think I could get it. I think it's going to come a point where the best case scenario for T-Mobile home internet is going to be when they get standalone 5G, N41 upgrades, mass scale, and then people can really take advantage of the bandwidth. Because when do the Sprint keep sites, when do they start to get N41 upgrades? When do they start to receive modernizations? When do they start to get extra carriers? When do they start to get the real capacity? I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. Neville's going to tell you how great the network is. Can I get a tower upgrade? If the capacity continues to diminish, I probably won't be able to use the service anymore. So I want to give T-Mobile my money. I want to continue to use the service. But if it continues to diminish and slow, then it's not going to do me any good. I have to look for another option. As of right now, as a primary option for my home, I need a home internet provider that can power 3 TVs, 2 iPads, 2 computers, and up to 3 phones. Now the phones they're extra because I could do all that with LTE, and stuff like that. But 3 TVs, 2 iPads, and 2 computers are non-negotiable. They have to be good. They have to be connected well. So morning, noon, evening, my speeds have a lot of variability. Why? I have no idea. All I could think about is that variability is due to the fact that it's a mobile network and people's usage fluctuates through the day. So if T-Mobile has a market share increase, we're in trouble. My speeds are going to slow. It could become unusable. My end game is probably AT&T fiber. So it's just home internet is designed to have capacity. And unless my tower site got N41, then, what are we really talking about here? I think my end game is probably AT&T fiber. If Verizon Wireless Fios was here, that would be cool too. If I had municipal fiber, I'd take that. It's the best option. I thought about Starlink, but it's kind of expensive. Like Starlink, you're going to be paying $100 a month. And then the hardware is like $500 to start. Your initial setup and the fees for the equipment. So, I don't know. The problem I'm actually seeing, and this is currently the problem that I can cite. The worst part has been YouTube TV, certain channels. Certain channels have been buffering, stuttering, lagging, blurry. I don't know what's going on there. The speed test shows 50 megabits, 60 megabits, and I look at fast.com and it's the same thing. So the speeds are fast, but like some of the videos just blurry. I don't know. It's weird. My wife has been telling me that the Ring camera has been disconnecting and stopped charging and failed. I don't know. Look, the connection itself is not the greatest. It's high latency, high ping, variable downlink speed. The uplink has actually been steady, although not great. It's been steady. And, I don't know, man. Chucky, thanks for the super chat, man. He said, let's get Sneed Starlink. You guys going to start a GoFundMe. Yeah, Joshua, stop charging. So I don't know. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Honestly, man, if they did an N41 upgrade, I think this is all moot. It's a moot point, and it'd be fine. But that's just not the case. All right, y'all. Let's talk about this cricket scenario, shall we? Okay. This is kind of sort of a breaking development, only because I hadn't got any wind of it or any word of it until big shout out to Stetson, my homie Stetson Dog. Check him out on YouTube and on Twitter. All right. Chaim, thanks for the super chat, buddy. So I say this is kind of a breaking development or something. He just sent me the DM, or not the DM. He sent me like a screenshot or an email or a Reddit post or something. I forget. But yeah, I've done that, Chaim. I have. I have no idea what's going on at Cricket right now, but they are suspending people's accounts. Holy crap. It's not like one. It's multiple people. It's several people. It's many people reporting that their accounts are being suspended, and the accounts are in good standing. So it's not that they're not paying their bill. It's not that they've done anything shady. Oh, it was a screenshot of a YouTube comment. Okay, good. The accounts are fine, but they're citing infractions for not having an approved voice over LTE device. Weird. Because from what I understand, based on the comment from what Stetson sent me, that user had a OnePlus 7 Pro, which is a 2019 flagship, I believe. Year and a half old, maybe. Right? It's not the newest. It's not a OnePlus 8, but it's the generation before. Look, AT&T has to shut down their 3G and legacy network elements. They've got to shut them down, decommission them, and then they want to recommission them for LTE and 5G. The problem here is that these devices are voice over LTE, but are they voice over LTE certified or approved by and for Cricket? Whoa, that's a problem. So the refarming process, shifting around of assets to LTE and 5G, we get it. That widens the channel bandwidth, speeds will get faster, we'll have increased capacity, modernize the network, LTE and 5G, yada, yada, yada. Boom, I got it, I understand. The cutoff date for non-voice over LTE devices on the AT&T network is February 2022. That is a year from now. Why in the world are accounts that have non-voice over LTE devices getting suspended when they are voice over LTE? All of AT&T's prepaid companies and MVNOs are going to be subjected to the same penalty and trouble. If you're suspending accounts prematurely, that's bad. Also, you're suspending accounts for phones that are voice over LTE but not approved by you. That is a you problem. So herein lies the concerns. The guy who has the OnePlus 7 Pro, a flagship from 2019, needs to be able to whitelist his device for activation on the Cricket network. This is concerning. It's wrong, and it could and needs to be avoided. Cricket needs to stop this. They need a solution. They don't need to tell people that their phone is not voice over LTE certified on their network. They need to approve it. That if you take the example of a OnePlus 7 Pro, a phone that came out a year and a half ago, not even a year and 4 months ago, very few phones on Cricket are more powerful and enjoyable than that one. You're going to shun that phone from access on your network and through your activation? Unacceptable. What is your BYOD program? What is your BYOD policy? So Cricket better figure this out quick, because the more negative press it gets, the worse they look. They should be BYOD friendly. People that are BYOD pay their bills. It's money. They better get to whitelisting these devices. Cricket, AT&T, whoever's in charge of this, I don't know how it granularly does this thing or whatever. They need to streamline a process or protocol in which the devices can be whitelisted and approved as VoLTE or voice over LTE for their network access. So if somebody's got an unlocked device and it's BYOD, they need to whitelist it. If it's a SIM card issue, give them new SIM cards. How is this happening in 2021? I mean, we're literally talking about a marketplace. Like, think about prepaid right now. Look at how competitive it is. Like, literally the MVNOs are at each other's throats. The prepaid companies are at each other's throats. You can go anywhere. I swear, if I was having a problem with Cricket, I would go to any other carrier. I would just take my BYOD phone. There are tons of other companies that would love my business. Mint Mobile would gladly take you on. All right. For those of you that know Mint Mobile, maybe you don't. It's basically it's Deadpool Mobile, all right? Great carrier, good competitive rates. The T-Mobile network with all of its newfound capacity, it's an option for a lot of people. Visible wireless with its Party Pay. Really can't be beat. There's so many good options out there. I swear, I would not be surprised if 50% or more of people at Cricket that have this problem would literally instantly just leave. Because the thing is their unlocked device would go to any carrier. It's gonna happen. All right, so I don't know. They got to try and figure it out. I don't know. Thanks, Caleb. I appreciate you. I'll check it out. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's something that can be avoided. If it's an activation situation. I don't know. Maybe it's too late for me to bring it up. Sounds like an Android problem. Okay, so the reason this is happening is because the newer certified voice over LTE phones support geofencing, geolocking capabilities for voice over LTE, government and carrier monitoring. It's in the newer baseband chipsets. Okay. So this is a monitoring thing. Geo-tracking, geofencing. Okay. So basically, why is this happening? I did not expect this. This is random, and I don't even know. Seemingly out of nowhere. Like, I had never heard of this before. Out of nowhere. So, I don't know. That's really it. I don't. Did I have anything else that I wanted to cover in tonight's show? Let me just double check. Got the Blackberry phones, the HBO Max, home broadband, the Motorola One Ace, T-Mobile home internet, the Cricket update. I mean, that's pretty much everything. Talked about all the phones. I'm excited. All right. Anyways, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for being a part of the live show. I want to thank everyone that is watching this on replay. If you offered a donation, a super chat, thank you guys so much for that. I know there were a few recent donations and some from earlier in the show. Thank you guys so very much for those. You guys are the best. Let's go ahead and close out this show. If it is your first time here, most definitely become a part of the SMT Nation. Hit subscribe. Activate the bell notification icon. Become a part, an active member of the SMT Nation. Welcome. Glad to have you. If you are a returning subscriber viewer, consider becoming a part of the SMT Patreon. We've got multiple tiers, ways to kick up your SMT access. We do additional exclusive live streams and podcasts. We've got additional access and testing. We've got, exclusive access to different things, early access to YouTube videos, a lot of stuff there. Check us out, Sneed Mobile Tech on Patreon. And that's pretty much it. Hashtag Mod Squad to all my mods. Thank you for helping out tonight. Hashtag 2Live Crew for those of you watching this on live. Hashtag Replay Crew for those of you watching this on DVR. And hashtag Ravioli Gang for those of you watching while hungry or eating dinner or spaghetti or whatever. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being a part of the SMT Nation and watching tonight's broadcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you have an excellent rest of your night. Have a great week this week. And, hopefully we see you soon on the next one. Peace. Peace.